Antino's well cleared. 3 lengths in front of the Wayne Wilson and kept going. It's all Antino, and Antino wins again. Antino from second. What a wonderful
Welcome to this week's edition of the Final Gallop. It is episode 286 and is proudly supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. This week we are going to preview our runners for Guineas Day at Eagle Farm on Saturday, which is the official start to the Queensland Winter Racing Carnival. Morning, Tony. Before we look ahead, congratulations are in order after winning your first Tony Gollan Memorial 2-year-old handicap at Toowoomba last Saturday with Boomtown Boss.
Yeah, good morning, Claire. You know, it was terrific. It was certainly a big highlight. I've had a race named after Dad now for a few years. I think the third year of the running of it. We haven't had a runner in it in the previous years, so to actually get a runner up there and actually win it at our first go, we're pretty proud of it.
Absolutely.
It's great that the club honour him in that way. All the stuff that was done on the night, it's pretty special. So I know he'd be pretty chuffed, I'd say.
Yep.
And I'm pretty thrilled to have won it. Otherwise, it was a pretty bleak Saturday for us last week. But
it was, yeah.
No, it was a special moment, and I certainly want to thank the owners of Boomtown Boss for allowing us to take him to a race like that up there, and he duly saluted Emily
100%.
Lane for a good ride.
Okay, now it is time for our Spotlight segment. This week we're going to do something a little bit different. It is a lease opportunity and a 2-year-old filly by Australia's leading second season sire in Trapeze Artist out of a stakes before mare in Illuminaire. The lease is for 3 years. The terms are that 10% of the Metropolitan prize money, one goes back to the owner's Dandine stud, and the people that lease it get the rest.
Yeah, it's a pretty good lease deal, to be honest.
Really it is.
Yeah, the Cavanough at the sales about this, Boomer and then Harry McAlpine. Obviously Dandine, they're a fantastic stud up there on the downs. They breed really good, tough, hardy horses. Most recently for us, Isotope, bred at Dandine. So it's obviously a farm that's renowned in breeding winners, which is a big tick. These sort of horses don't come along that often off those nice farms where you can lease them, and obviously the terms of the lease are exceptionally endearing. So they're very attractive, So it's a good opportunity. I think they pay for the breaking in of the horse as well, since it's been broken in. So some of the hard work's already been done.
100%.
Just a matter of getting in and hopefully enjoying the ride. So I suggest at a basically minimal or no upfront cost. It's a great way to get into racing with limited return back to the actual owners of the horse. So it's a terrific lease opportunity.
Yes, absolutely it is. And as Tony mentioned, she has been broken in and she's fully educated and she's just about to commence pre-training. So she may debut as a 2-year-old. Everything can all sorts of things can happen. But it's a very good opportunity to get into a racehorse that's nearly ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. I think I love buying horses off farms that just keep on producing hardy, tough, good racehorses, and Dandine definitely one of those. From as long as I can remember, even going back to my father before, when we used to go to the sales as a kid, would always look for horses off Dandine because it was just a farm that was renowned for breeding good, tough, hardy racehorses.
Absolutely. So if you are interested in this lease opportunity, please get in contact with us at sales@gollanracing.com.au, or you can contact any one of us individually. Okay, on to the preview of our runners for Guineas Day at Eagle Farm on Saturday. The rail will be in the 7 metre position. The track is currently a soft 5 with a shower or 2 forecast each day for the rest of the week. What are you expecting with the rail going out 4 metres from last week?
I've got no idea.
No idea.
We galloped on the track Tuesday and Wednesday this week out wide, and obviously it was the firmest it's been. It's raced quite firm and shifty on the weekend, and it come off fence the first 4, then I went back in for the last 5. The pattern, I got no idea.
So there's no real pattern?
I got no idea. The punters have got no idea. The pros have got no idea. I have no idea. I don't know whether the club have any idea. I don't think anyone's got any idea. I think it's a beast that's a bit out of control at the moment.
Yes.
I think the sooner we get this meeting over and done with and get this track a bit of a break into the next part of the carnival, I think they'll be pretty happy because it's obviously struggling.
Yep.
That was evident the last 3 race meetings there. It's been pretty different and it's been pretty average. So I don't want to take the spotlight off what is a brilliant meeting on Saturday, but the track is, and how it will race, I think is an absolute lottery. I think with the forecast for rain this weekend makes it really hard for Jim Roberts and his team to prepare this track as well, not knowing how much irrigation they can put on with rain forecast. And if we happen to miss all the rain, exactly what sort of surface are we going to get? It could be very firm but still cutting out. So I really don't know. I've got to have these peepers wide open come Saturday because I think it's the trick with Saturday will be to do with this surface.
Okay, well, you don't get a lot of time to figure out how the track's going to play, because we start in race 1, which is the benchmark 90 handicap over the 1,835 metres, and we'll have 5th position in that. He'll carry 55 kilos. Vlad Jurek rides barrier 4. He's paying $6 to win and $2.10 for the place. Return to form last start, just going down in a tight one over the Eagle Farm Mile. Do you think you've got him to turn the corner? Yeah,
I think so. I think the gear changes and a bit of mucking around we've done with him, and because he's certainly mucking me around quite a lot his first couple.
Yeah.
I think it's really switched him on. Vlad having that ride on him will be all the better for it. We give him a good squeeze out the other day and probably had to expose him a touch early. As soon as he got off him, he knew how he'd ride him differently this time, which you'll see. I think he just lobs on the back of the speed. If you want a horse test the track out early, it's this bloke here, because he can handle all conditions, wet, dry. It's not going to matter. He's going to get a lovely run off a low draw, and he's found a race that's very suitable for him. He's not a winner. Is the only negative. He looms and just doesn't win. But I thought if you just take his last run into context, we'll give him a better run in transit this time.
Yeah.
I think he's very well placed.
Okay, race 2 is the benchmark 78 handicap over the 1,600 metres. We have Rising Pacific in this, 59.5 kilos. Tommy Berry on board, barrier 15, which he'll come into 10. He's currently paying $7 to win and $2.30 for the place. Was strong through the line last start at this track and distance, giving 5 kilos to the winner and 1/3 up at the mile last preparation.
Yeah, the barrier is what's really tricky with him. You just love him to draw low on a good speed race. He's got looks to be a muddling tempo race. The scratchings help because it brings the field, makes it a bit smaller, but it won't sort of encourage much more speed into the race. That's a bit of a worry. So probably got to chance our arm a bit and just see if he can just relax and find a midfield spot. That's going to be a very tricky ride. Thank God we've got a good jockey on board to try and accomplish it, but he's going to take all Tommy Berry's skill and nous to get him into a winning spot, I think. I think the barrier makes it hard for him. He's certainly got the ability to win this race, but where he's drawn, the run he's going to get makes life pretty tricky.
Okay, the second runner we'll have in this race is Tenzing. He'll carry 59 kilos. Jimmy Orman on board. He's drawn barrier 8 and is now into 6. He's paying $5 to win at the moment and $1.85 for the place. Nice win over the mile at Doomben last start for Jimmy Orman. Finished last preparation with a win at this track and trip.
Big improvement into that run the other day, second up. He got a lovely run, and he probably peaked out late. He'll be spot on now, 3rd up. He knows how to ride him well, Orman. You just lob out, you off a reasonably good draw, you're probably 3rd pair just behind the speed. You just wait as long as you can, come with one sharp sprint at them. He profiles well, just up in the weights, a bit against the favourite who's right down in the weights. But he's going to get a good run, he's going to sprint well. I think the mile's ideal for him. Slow tempo doesn't bother me because he's got a great change of turn-up speed. He just doesn't sustain it for too long. He's just got that furlong and a bit. So if he can get that suck run behind him, he'll sprint and look to hit the front. I can see that for sure. So I think he's a really good chance just because he's mapped to get a good run. I think Rising Pacific's a better horse. I just hate him off wide draws. It just makes life hard. Even though it's a great start the mile, you start pretty well right down in that corner with a little tiny dog leg onto the back straight. So it's a good start, but geez, he's a difficult horse off bad gates.
So you did
Tenzing, I think, safer. I think it's just obvious he's going to get a really good run.
Better run,
Where Rising Pacific could be free wide pulling his head off. Who knows? I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, race 3 is the Fillies and Mares benchmark 78 handicap over 1,200 metres. Another race we'll have 2 runners in. Typhoon Tarvey is the first one, 57 kilos with Talia Fenlon's a 3 kilo claim. She's drawn barrier 8. She's paying $2.25 to win and $1.30 for the place. Coming off back-to-back front running wins at Doomben over the 1,200 metres for Talia. Do you think she can make it 3 in a row?
Yep, won't be changing anything at all with her. Anything wants to go with her will be going really quick. She's a filly, likes to go at a good gallop, kick off it. Obviously these sorts of horses are more vulnerable at Eagle Farm, but with all those runs under her belt now, these last 2 good solid runs, she ran good time. She gets good fitness benefit out of them because she's actually been running at good clips. And I think she presents the best she's been all prep into this. So I think she'd be the one to beat. Obviously, if it's a day where horses are swooping and not leading, I guess that's the negative on her. But as I go into the meeting on face value, I think she's the one to beat. Okay,
second runner is Aro Pink, 59 kilos. Tommy Berry rides barrier 7. She's paying $8.50 to win and $2.50 for the place at the present time. She was the first start winner at this track and trip before fading late last start out to the 1350, back to the 1200, and generally runs well 3rd up.
Yep, will run well, back to 1200 suits. Any rain around, big plus for her. graze in the wet, as they say.
Yes,
but
true.
I think a bit of rain around, she'll just posse up. She'll be running second or third in transit behind Typhoon Tarvey. She wouldn't have the speed to go with her, nor would I ask her to. I think she gets a really nice run behind. You know she can run well at 1300. So if there's any chinks in the leader, if she has to come back to the field, Aro Pink will be there to chase. She's obviously got a very good jockey on board in Tommy Berry. So she's a definite each way hope.
Yeah.
Rain, if we were to get weather, because the rain would affect this track greatly. A little bit of rain will affect it a lot.
Yeah.
And if the track went to be quite testing and chopping right out, well, that would go in Aro Pink's favour as opposed to Typhoon Tarvey. But for me, I think Typhoon Tarvey's the one to beat.
Okay, we'll go to race 4 now, the benchmark 85 handicap over 1400 metres. We have Black Max entered in this, 54 kilos, Angela Jones rides barrier 3. Black Max is paying $4.20 to win and $1.75 for the place. He was no match for a stablemate, Typhoon Tarvey first up, giving her 5 kilos over the 1200 metres. Very good second up record, good gate, good trip. The trip suits, but he is rising in grade.
It's going well, bud. Just drops right down in weight, which was the plan. He loves to get a lovely soft run, which he'll get. He got right back the other day, had to improve in the worst part of the track. He just lobs into the box seat here, really. Lobs into third, fourth, gets a beautiful run behind them. He'll sprint quickly. He's favoured if we don't get any rain. He wants good ground.
Okay.
Wet tracks are not his go. So good tracks are his go, but step to 1400 up to the 85, down in weight. He ticks a lot of boxes. Very, very good top 3 hope.
Okay, race 5 is the Cutest 3-year-old quality over 1300 metres. Velozes will run 53 kilos, Damien Thornton on board. She's drawn barrier 2. She's currently paying $9 to win and $2.80 for the place. 2 seconds before breaking through for an impressive win last start over the 1350. Lightly raced but down in the weights and drawn very well.
Come from maiden grade to this, which is always a tricky step, but she's got good ability. She's well above average. I love the run she's going to get in transit. She just lobs into a good spot, 4th, 5th, 6th, something like that, just behind the speed, and she's very, very strong to the line. She won ridden out of her comfort zone the other day. She lobbed outside lead and took her a while to react to that. It's not her style of racing at all, but I love the way she jumps. So Damien gets to the step well like Jimmy Orman did with a lightweight 53. She gets absolute run of the race. I think she sprints really well here. She's right in the finish. Okay,
second runner in this race is Pivotal Lad, 52 kilos, Angela Jones rides. Pivotal Lad's drawn barrier 12. He is paying $23 to win and $6 for the place. Won impressively on his debut at this track in January and had nowhere to go early in the straight. First up at Doomben, held up for about a furlong, so that was a pretty good trial for this.
Very, very good trial. Improved out of sight this horse. Only Class 1 horse similar to Velozes, lightly raced. Probably showed the other day he probably should have tested lubrication, the winner, and that'd be good enough for him to run well here. Lightweight as well. 52 on his back, I think, goes back off a wide draw, switches off, runs on, runs super, loves Eagle Farm, loves the big track, handles wet or dry. He can run really, really well, this horse as well. Velozes on top for me out of my 2. I think a very interesting race.
Okay.
Sorry. I think it's a very interesting race, this. A lot of emerging horses with a few Sydney, Melbourne siders as well in there up in the weights that are coming back in grade. So interesting race, but I think my 2 are definitely Saturday standard horses and therefore should perform well.
Okay, race 7 is the Colts Geldings and Entire's benchmark 78 handicap over 1200 metres. We have 4 runners in this race. We'll start with Michelli, 60 kilos, Tommy Berry, barrier 1. Mushy's paying $11 to win and $3.60 for the place. Yet to win this preparation or at this track. Last start was a much better run than it looked when he was held up late.
Yeah, I'll rip through these a lot quicker. They're all very similar horses, to be perfectly honest. Michelli, I think it's a really nice run. Low draw helps. Tommy will suit him. He'll lot up behind them. He got a black eye from kickback the other day too, so his run's a touch better than what it was. He ran into a bit of trouble as well. 1200, it's always been a box he hasn't ticked. As he's gotten older, I feel he's ready for it. So it's the right grade of race for him, and he's going to obtain the right run. Okay,
Immoral, 59 kilos, Jimmy Orman, barrier 2, paying $6 to win and $2.40 for the place. Going well without winning this preparation. Close behind a decent one last start and drawn well.
Best of the locals the other day, beaten by the Southerner, who's had the better form. Going to get a lovely run, stalk the speed as well. Very similar to Michelli in the run. They'll be sort of just in behind speed, getting a soft run, be strong to the line, yet hasn't won at 1200. Very similar. Those two horses always finish round about each other.
They do,
There's
yeah.
not much between them. Both horses going well. Both have really developed their racing patterns now, and I think that'll really help them to get the 1200 in the right race also.
Okay, devastating, 57.5 kilos. Vlad Jurek rides barrier 6. He's paying $7.50 to win and $2.70 for the place. Charged home for second over the 1,000 metres last start behind his stablemate Hidden Wealth. Will appreciate the rise in trip and the drop in weight.
Comes out of a good form race now, doesn't he? Tyler Shark coming out and winning the other day at the Mick Dittman. Was super, probably best outside winner in that race, I'd say. The way he come from well back, run on second to Hidden Wealth, the stablemate, who I really, really like as a horse. Hasn't won at 1200. I love his new racing pattern where he's wanting to find his feet and finish off. I think that's the key to him getting the 1200. Previously, he's gone to 1200, he's just raced too fresh. He's wanted to charge up and he's been vulnerable late. I think Vlad will just ride him where he's comfortable early, 3 pairs back, 1 off, something like that, and he'll be good to the line at the distance. I've always felt he'd run 1200.
Okay.
But I think now he's actually given himself an opportunity to get to 1200. So very similar. All those first 3 we've spoke about, we get to the different one in a minute, are all very similar horses, very similar ability, all drawn to get the right runs.
Okay, the next one that we are going to talk about is Warby, 57.5 kilos. Ryan Maloney rides barrier 3. He's paying $5 to win and $2.10 for the place. First up on Saturday after a nice trial and jump out, yet to win first up or over this trip, but he is talented.
There's the negatives. Hasn't won first up, hasn't won over the trip. First up for me last prep, which was his first real prep with me, I thought his first up run was outstanding. He had a big weight, he went right back from a wide draw and he run on beautifully through the line. We've got a perfect draw for him now. He's also just got to come out neutral, ride back with a bit of cover, suck up underneath them and just come with one run. He's the horse that's got the ability to win the race. He's the best horse, I think, out of my 4 overall as a racehorse. I think that'll be testament by the time the end of this carnival comes up. I love the way he's come back. He's come back a better horse again, in my mind. I'm really happy with him. I think Maloney and him is a perfect jockey-horse combination. I think the horse is exceptionally hard to beat. So I'm hopeful I can break both hoodoos. First up and not one at the distance. I'm hopeful I can break both. So I've got him on top because the other 3 haven't won at the trip. Although all 3 look like they want the trip now and they're in their right races. So I think it's a really good race for the stable, that. I really hope we can come away with it.
Okay. Race 8 is the Group 2 Victory Stakes over the 1200 metres, a race you quinelled with Temple of Boom and Spirit of Boom in 2014. We have 3 chances this year. We'll start with Antino, 58.5 kilos. Vlad Jurek is on board from barrier 7. He's paying $6.50 to win and $2.10 for the place. First up for his winter campaign on Saturday. Loves the track and typically races well first up.
So on the Victory Stakes of 2014, when we quinelled this, and it went the wrong way around. Spirit of Boom was much shorter in the market. I think he was favourite, or short price. Temple of Boom 40 to 1, got the job done. That was the year I got married. This is my 10-year wedding anniversary this year. That paid for the wedding.
Congratulations.
That thingo. So I've got to pay for the 10-year wedding anniversary now. So I need to win the Victory Stakes again.
Fair enough.
You know, to shout my long-suffering wife of 10 years.
No comment.
Since 2014. So happy anniversary to Jane as well with that. But here, our first runner is Antino. This is a very important kick-off for all these horses. Only 9 runners in the Victory Stakes. It's a very important kick-off point for all these horses. It sort of takes them off onto that weight for age race pattern as we get through the carnival. Or they could go back to the BRC Sprint, who knows. But for him, drawn, I think, quite okay. There's going to be 3 good leaders in this race. Very similar to what we saw really in the 1,000-metre sprint race the other day leading into this. You've got Petronius, Heathcote's horse, Boom horse, and Front Page. They're going to run along at a good tempo. Probably Uncommon James probably tries to find the back of them, and then you got Antino probably behind him, sort of following him. So we should be able to follow the favourite. That's what I'm hopeful. We can follow him for as long as possible, and I'm hopeful when he sprints he may have a chink and we can be strongest late. So I think we get a really good run. I can't fault the run we're going to get in transit. His preparation's been terrific. His work's good. Everything back on him. He's very fit. Certainly ready to kick his prep off.
Next one is Baller, 58.5 kilos. Angela Jones rides him from barrier 9. He's paying $23 to win and $4.80 for the place. First up and has also looked very good in his recent trials and jump outs at drawn the outside of the field.
I'm going to ride him a bit of a Temple of Boom style with him. I remember that race vividly, and my instructions to Tegan Harrison that day off a wide draw, but just to let him do what he wants to do. Don't override him. I'm going to do the same with this horse. Sick of, dragging him back off wide gates or hunting the ears off him. Just let him begin, let him flow into a position.
Happy,
If you're 3 deep, you're 3 deep. No one wants to be 3 deep in a 9-horse field, but if you are, you are. I think just keep him happy and comfortable. The horse is going unbelievably well. He's as sound and happy as I've had him in 2 years. So I just want to throw caution to the wind and just let Baller do what Baller wants to do and let Ange just facilitate that type of role. So where he lands, I don't really know. It depends on how he steps and what sort of track we get. But I'm bloody happy with him. He looks so good. I don't think anything will parade any better than him on Saturday. He looks really, really well. And if we could snare a nice enough run in transit off a tricky gate, he can run way, way better than those odds.
Okay. Third runner is Comrade Rosa, 56.5 kilos. Ryan Maloney will ride Rosa from barrier 3. She's paying $11 to win and $2.80 for the place. The third of our runners, our first up, also looked good in a recent jump out and has pretty good Eagle Farm record.
Eagle Farm record's really, really good. That was one thing that was missing in the summer, really. We were at Doomben and navigating through runners and that. She had a light summer just to be ready for this winter. I've had a beautiful preparation with her. She's very fit, very ready, looks great. Low draw. I don't have her as far back as what a lot of speed maps have her. They have her back a clear last. I just think she's on the back of that speed. I can't see why she's not 4th, 5th. You know, there's 3 clear leaders. She jumps well, she'll just lob behind that speed. There's no reason why she wouldn't. And then she's going to have a huge finish. The only negative for her would be if there was rain come and the track really got loose and sloppy, that wouldn't suit her. But if we got a good enough surface, she can run really, really well. Okay,
we'll go to race 9 now, which is the Group 2 Queensland Guineas over the mile. We will have 2 runners. We'll start with Transatlantic, who's relaxing at the back of the box there. He will carry 57 kilos with Jimmy Orman riding barrier 14. He's paying $9.50 to win at the moment and $3.20 for the place. Huge run last start in the Daybreak Lover from gate 17, just going down. Gets another wide draw, but that may be a blessing by this last race.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a bit unknown how the track will play, but I'm first of all, the horse. I'm really happy with him. His preparation's been beautiful towards us. He had the one blip in the road at the mile at Doomben. We're not ridden to finish his best. I didn't feel like it was just a bit of a faux pas. Other than that, his runs at Eagle Farm have been great. I love the way he relaxed well the other day. Even though he was wide, he come back and relaxed for him. And we'll ride him probably similar. There doesn't look to be a lot of speed on paper, but you've got a big bunch of 3-year-olds in a Group 2. It's going to generate some speed. We'll just flow out and just try and find as nice a spot as we can. He'll race somewhere on speed. And depending on the track and how it plays, conditions not going to bother me with him, wet or dry. He'll get through any surface. He's been prepared especially for the Guineas, and I couldn't be happier with him. Okay, second runner we'll have is Felix the Scat, 57 kilos, Kyle Wilson-Taylor on board. Barrier 10, he's currently paying $151 and $35 for the place. Disappointing first up a month ago, has gone back to the jump out since and was pretty impressive. He's a dominant jump out winner the other day. He's out of his grade in the Guineas, there's no doubt, but it keeps him in a good leg, and hopefully with the weather forecast we get a dry track. He's a horse that wants good ground. He'll be ridden back in the second half of the field, ridden to run on, and then we can find, I think, a perfect race for him post this.
Okay, so Transatlantic clearly on top.
Absolutely.
Yep. Okay, we are into the final furlong of this week's Final Gallop. Who is your best winning chance at Eagle Farm on Saturday?
My best winning chance on a day where I think we've got some brilliant chances in at Eagle Farm on Saturday, I'm going to go with Tiana Tarvey early up in the meeting. I think she's just going super this mare. I think she can just bang up, control speed and race really well.
Okay, your best each way chance?
I can't see why. Antino.
Okay.
Couldn't be my best each way chance. I don't know what pride, maybe Warby as well. There's a bunch of them there, but I love Antino. I think he's a bloody good horse, and hopefully he's going to put the writing on the wall on Saturday for what's going to be a big winter carnival ahead for him. Okay, your best at the provincials. We have the Monday Labor Day meeting at Ipswich. Yeah, I think we've got a couple of runners there. We've got a newcomer to stay within reason. I think she's trialling and racing, looking really well for that. But I'm going to go with Adranos. I think the form out of his maiden win the other day was good. That Teltani Fields bolted in yesterday, beat one of ours at Ipswich. That's the right sort of form for a Class 1. So Adranos for me to get the ball rolling. Let's see what the weather brings this weekend before we worry about Ipswich on Monday. Okay, your best track worker this week? Oh, I love the gallop of Antino and Baller out there, just stretching their legs a little bit yesterday morning. They were both all our jump outs last Friday, just stretched their legs a little bit in the course proper yesterday. They were terrific. Transatlantic was also really good Tuesday for where I need him to be. Very, very fit horse. Worked out on the course proper on Tuesday morning as well. So I think we've got a great team of horses in. Big lot, 17.
Yep.
So I hope you all find a winner there amongst them. But a team very much in great shape and a stable in good form heading into Saturday.
Absolutely. And your performance from the stable for the week?
Yeah, I was winning Dad's race at
Yep.
Toowoomba. That was the highlight. You know, obviously Saturday was fairly frustrating in different times, different parts, but to win Dad's race on Saturday night meant an awful lot. You know,
Yeah.
we won the Wheatwood and stuff last year and stuff like that, but that was pretty good to win his race on Saturday night.
Absolutely. Okay, now it is time for Cav's Corner, which is supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. He's back in the winner's circle, taken a wee while to get him back into form, but he did nail his multi last week with Blue Spinel, a place into Boomtown Boss a win. Let's see if he can go back to back.
Welcome to Cav's Corner for this week. Last week we got a small dividend out of our all-up, but the more you put on, the more you get back. Anyway, this week we'll go to Eagle Farm. We'll go Warby a place into Comrade Rosa a place. Good punting, guys.
So he's gone Warby a place, which you said was a good each way bet, and Comrade Rosa a place. What are your thoughts on that one?
I love his
Love
multi.
it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I love his multi.
Yep.
It's a real good multi.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing, the negative would be is if it got really wet,
for-
you know, but
yep.
which is who knows. If you look at the weather this morning, it doesn't even feel like rain.
No.
It's cool and blue skies and quite crispy, so there's
Yep.
no humidity at all. So I love that multi. I think it's terrific. If we get good ground, she'll run unbelievably well. Comrade Rosa is absolutely airborne. And if you look at its beat and run behind horse Annabelle Neeshams, who went and won a Group 1 in the autumn,
Yeah.
geez, you'd be happy with him.
Absolutely. Good luck for the start of the Winter Carnival on Saturday, Tony. Plenty of good chances, as you said, throughout the whole day.
Yeah, absolutely. Cannot wait for Eagle Farm Saturday. Hopefully Jim and his team have got the track in good condition for us all.
Absolutely. Best of luck to everyone.